My last video that covered Monolith Bay and how it was banned twice seemed to touch a nerve. People want to know why it was banned and what specifically was in it that got it banned. That's just not how Steam works. They will never tell you or the developer the specifics on why a game is banned. However, over the last 2 years, I have looked at the majority of the games banned by Steam. There is a lot that I can't talk about on YouTube, and frankly, I'm terrified about how our alphabet overlords are going to react to what I've left in this video. I'm going to share some of what I've talked about previously on Patreon, address some of the comments and feedback that you all have shared, and hopefully help clear up what is a very confusing and highly contentious subject. Oh yeah, the game footage is from Chaos Head Noah. I felt it was appropriate as this is the only game that has been banned by Steam for what we're about to talk about that has ever been unbanned. In my June industry update on Patreon, I covered what each of the 5 biggest non-Japanese platforms, Steam, Patreon, itch, Subscribestar, and GOG, allow and don't allow. This includes what each of them tends to ban for. I'm going to share the relevant section from that video regarding Steam and what Steam bans for. First off, we're going to start with Steam. This is the largest platform and represents more than half of the total adult game industry's revenue. Steam is the platform that everyone should want to be on. Steam only prohibits one thing when it comes to content, and that is any appearance or suggestion that any of the characters are under 18 years old. Steam is located in Washington State in the United States, and Washington State's laws are what Steam has decided to use to regulate its platform. The 2 specific sections relevant to us are Chapter 9.68, Obscenity and Pornography, and Chapter 9.68a, Sexual Exploitation of Children. Minors are defined as any person under the age of 18 years, and erotic material means printed material, photographs, pictures, motion pictures, sound recordings, and other material the dominant theme of which taken as a whole appeals to the prurient interest. The state of Washington has no legal classification of video games with regards to erotic material. You can write whatever story you want in a book, but because video games are not specifically addressed, Steam has grouped them together with real-life content. That means any game that you submit to Steam must not have any images, language, or subject matter that would imply a character is under 18. This could include school buses or other things associated with a high school schema or trope. This includes any content that may be behind passwords or otherwise disabled. Steam can and will pull apart your assets to check for characters that look too young or language that implies a character is underage. If Steam determines that your game is in violation, you are prohibited from resubmitting your game ever again. Violations can also impact your existing catalog of submitted games as well as future games that you submit. Currently, there are developers and publishers that have off-site patches that add back in content. However, even some of the larger publishers have had games unilaterally rejected by Steam in the past as well. This is a very tricky situation, and my best advice is to comply with Steam 100%, as opposed to trying to avoid or bypass their rules. If you do choose to go with an off-site patch, all of the content must be completely expunged from the version you submit on Steam. Not hidden, not disabled, completely removed. In the last 2 years, hundreds of games have been banned by Steam for violating this policy. While Steam will allow a developer to submit a wholly different game, any attempt to resubmit the banned game can get a developer in more trouble, up to and including being totally barred from Steam. Yes, there are other things that can get you in trouble with Steam, like a developer using certain AI or questionably sourced assets. But Steam tries to work with developers to try to resolve these issues. So when I say that there is only one thing that Steam unilaterally bans for, it's because Steam refuses to give any information about what it feels is a violation. You will get this boilerplate message. After review, we will not be able to ship your game on Steam. While we strive to ship most titles submitted to us, we found that this title features themes, imagery, or descriptions that we won't distribute. Regardless of a developer's intentions with their product, we will not distribute content that appears, in our judgment, to depict sexual content involving a minor. While every product submitted is unique, if your product features this representation, even in a subtle way that could be defined as a gray area, it will be rejected by Steam. For instance, setting your game in a high school, but declaring your characters are of legal age, would fall into that category and be banned. This app has been banned and cannot be reused. Resubmission of this app, even with modifications, will not be accepted. So a developer will never be told what exactly is the issue, and will never be given the opportunity to resolve the problem. I'm not going to talk about if this is right or fair. That is just how it is. I am sure that there will be plenty of people in the comments who will have very, very strong opinions, one way or another. Please stay civil with each other. Pretty please? This is the only thing that Steam unilaterally bans for. That's it. I've seen so much misinformation on this subject all over the adult game space. This is not me endorsing any position. This is just me trying to inform the community, and especially developers, what the reality of the situation is. Or at least the reality of the situation as I see it. I hope this helps. We all come from places with different laws and different cultural norms, but we all love video games. The purpose of this channel is to help people be able to explore sex and sexuality in video games in a safe and healthy way. We may not always agree about what is safe and healthy, but I hope we can at least talk about it in a respectful way. That is the whole point of no shaming, just gaming. Thanks to all this month's support on Patreon. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you all.